Hi, you guys. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome in. My name's Adrienne. This is Evolvehumanity. Welcome to my channel. I want to do a daily message to see where Spirit has us today and where we're headed. But I wanted to talk a little about, so I don't know how everybody's been dreaming lately, but my dreams have been my downloads are coming in. Like the dream state has been a very active place for me. And one of the things that has been really coming up lately is the healing of past trauma or wounds or ancestral healing about things that have occurred in generations before us that have impact on us now. So I recently heard that generational trauma goes back 7 generations. So that's 700 years. So let's say something happened in your family structure 300 years ago. You're still being impacted by that now. How that looks can be a lot of different things. It can be through economics. It can be through, more traumatic experiences, things around how moving, migrating across the globe, not having resources to sustain yourself. It can be related to political trauma, political apartheid. It can be related to things within the context of the family structure around violence or abuse, oppression, various forms of healing that needs to occur. So I grew up in a home where my parents, although they loved each other very much, they were in places in their lives where they were struggling with creating alchemy in their connection for various reasons. There was trauma. My mother experienced a pretty extreme traumatic event, pretty near the time of my birth. Oh, that's interesting. That is so interesting that I said that. Near the time of my birth, my mother experienced a pretty traumatic death in her family. And I would say that had an impact on her, and that had an impact on her relationship with my father, and that needed to be healed in order for them to for her to be present and to allow herself to be free to be who she was without that impacting her ability to be in her experience in life. So what I mean by that is, because there was stuff in the space that hadn't been healed within the context of her and the context of her family, it impacted her ability to be in a relationship. So, and because of the space that my father was in, he didn't necessarily have the skills to help her navigate that, even though he loved the bejesus out of her. So there are things that need to be healed in ourselves. When we heal ourselves, we heal our family, our parents, we heal the world. So interestingly enough, I've been having these downloads about healing past-based trauma, past life trauma, ancestral, historical, wounds that have gone deep into our ancestral lineage, and just as recent as our own family dynamic and currently. So I read this thing yesterday. I had actually had it in a library I found last year, and I found it again yesterday. So interestingly enough, it says ancestral healing. When we heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors from wounds that run deep in our family. When we heal our ancestors, we heal the world from the wounds that can run deep in humanity. So, when we're walking around with unhealed experiences, we're walking around projecting that frequency in the collective, which is causing a vibrational frequency of unhealed trauma, unhealed wounds, whatever. You can say trauma. It doesn't, you can identify that, qualify that however you want. That's just the language that I'm using. So I woke up this morning having a thought about a download that I was getting about an impact of a particular experience in a relationship that has an impact on the collective. So, and if that doesn't get healed, recognized and healed, it will continue to project. So, how do we recognize things about ourselves that we may have picked up or experienced a projection from and then acted out, lived out, somehow it became a part of our DNA structure, it became a part of our code? How do we recognize these wounds or these impacts, if you will, that need healing from our ancestral lineage, from our parents, from our grandparents, from our great-grandparents, from our aunts and our uncles and our great-aunts and uncles, and so on and so forth? It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. How do we recognize now how that has had an impact on us and do the work to heal ourselves so that we can heal our ancestors and we can heal the world, okay? So now is the time to actually really confront these things while we're in this very deep scorpionic energy, when we're in this very intense blue full moon coming up this weekend in Taurus, like 3D stuff. What has actually happened in the tangible 3D world that may have had an impact on us? So, you know, one of the things I think about is how my mom and dad were trying to work things out, but there were all these opinions on how they should do that from this side of the family, that side of the family, friends, community stress, community pressure, you know, the whole system impacted the way my parents were able to navigate their personal, intimate relationship because of these opinions of maybe unhealed experiences that this collective system had on how my mom and dad lived their life, had an impact on how they came together and raised me. So how do you see that and interrupt it and stand in your power and your truth to navigate that energy so you are living your authenticity, so you are healing yourself, so you're healing your ancestors, so you're healing the world? So that's the energy that we're channeling right now. How do we heal ourselves? How do we heal our ancestors? How do we heal the world? By healing ourselves, we will do that. So let's see what Spirit has to say energetically about how we can align ourselves in energy to navigate that. All right, let's see where we go with this. The unseen. Mirror. Wow. Guide. Okay. So what are the shadow sides? Excuse me. What are your shadow sides? What can't you see that needs to be brought to the light about yourself? The mirror. I think that there is some ancestral guide that wants to come through to help you with this. So I think what Spirit is saying is call on your ancestors. They have the answers to help you see the things about yourself that need to be healed so that they, your ancestors, can be healed. How do you do that? How do you actually do that? You really take a hard look. You quiet your mind, you clear your head, you disengage in unhealthy habits and patterns. You take a huge step back and you get really present, clear presence. What's going on here? And it might not happen that fast. It might not be like, okay, I'm clear-headed, haven't had a drink, I've been not engaging, I turned off the news, whatever you had to do to quiet your mind. Now the space is available for you to be able to do some introspection. I think that there needs to be a way for you to do that for a period of time so that you're actually taking the space that is necessary to do this work. Let's do the Muse Tarot. Is that what we want to use? I actually want to use Fountain. Let's do the Fountain. So this isn't something that's it might happen overnight. You might get it. It might be like, there it is. Yesterday I was on a walk and I was thinking about something. And what came to me was some part of myself that needs to be healed, that keeps showing up in my lessons. So this is the other thing. What are the lessons that keep presenting themselves to you? If there is a common lesson that keeps showing up, that lesson has to be learned. There's something about that isn't being learned about how that needs to be interrupted. If it's not aligning you in your highest vibrational frequency, it keeps showing up for a reason. Why? What is it about that is continuing to resurface in your energy? Is there something that you keep thinking you can do, or that you think that, okay, well, you might have thought that you already dealt with that, and yet something about that still keeps showing up? So what is it in your life that needs to really be taken seriously and needs a really hard look at? It might not feel super comfortable. And maybe that's not the case at all. Maybe you're still just sort of on the brink of really grappling with what that is, because that can also be the case. So let's see what the tarot says about how to align ourselves right now in actually doing this work. The moon. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. The moon is full on Saturday. We have a full blue moon. If this doesn't look like a blue moon, sometimes tarot just, it's magic. So now is the time. This full moon is the opportunity for you to go deep, 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 deep. We have Uranus in retrograde, we have Mercury in retrograde, we have Mars in retrograde. We have all these planetary retrogrades that are making us very like, bleh. There's a lot of turbulence in that energetic frequency. And one of the things, so Mercury is in retrograde in Scorpio, Uranus is in retrograde in Scorpio, Mars is in retrograde and Aries. Those energies are pretty crazy. So really looking at what needs to be healed in you so that you can use this Uranus energy, your gifts. What are these really unseen deep things that you want to heal so that you can keep manifesting in your mission? So that you can align yourself with what is for you, for what the universe does want to gift you, what you can receive. Yesterday I did a reading on giving and receiving. The universe will give you what is meant for you if you can receive it. If you're open to the reception of the gift. Okay, so let's see more about what we're going. Two of Pentacles, making the decision, deciding. Six of Swords, Five of Cups, Six of Coins. Wow, interesting. Moving towards, moving away from heartbreak, moving towards balance, while simultaneously pulling back, conserving your energy. King of Cups, Justice, Emperor, wow. Ace of Coins, Five of Coins, Seven of Swords, shit. Tower. All right, you guys. Magician on the bottom here, Lovers, Fountain, Queen of, King of Wands. Wow, there's just so much. All right. Judgment, Hierophant, Two of Wands, Chariot, World. All right. There is an opportunity for balance to be restored, and you are moving in that direction. You are moving towards something that is calm and in alignment with where you're at in your mission. Moving away from Five of Cups, moving away from hurt, sadness, disappointment, things that haven't worked out the way that you thought they were going to work out. You're moving away from that. You're moving onward toward a different direction. What's actually happening is you're pulling back and conserving yourself, because what is possible here is there's what's possible is you growing into this heart-centered love, confidence, flow state. Balance again here, Justice. Balance is being restored in your life by making a decision to walk away from the disappointments of the past and pulling your energy back into your being so that you can reset, so that you can really develop in you the internal relationship between, by healing yourself, you can heal whatever hurt has interfered with your ability to come from love. Emperor. The Emperor is confident. The Emperor is the ruler of their own life. And when out of balance, the emperor can be very tyrannical, can be a bit of a mess. The King of Cups and the Emperor energy together with balance, to me, is bringing together love and confidence in a balanced way, so you're not allowing your ego to be inflated in a sense that doesn't allow you to have humility. So healing for me is about developing the ability to be humble. When I was a teenager in a car accident, I wouldn't say that I was very egoic at that age. I was definitely developing an ego, a personality. Your ego is your personality, right? That experience humbled me to the point of just sheer reality. It took me to the deepest, darkest place that I could humanly experience and still be living. And how that has had an impact on me when not balanced is that I can use that to say, oh, I've had more of this, like I can use that as a way to say other people's experiences are not as severe, not as important. It's somehow, when not standing in a space of humility and allowing my ego to dictate how that experience went for me, can diminish that experience for myself, and it can be diminishing to other people. So if you have experiences in your life that need healing and need to be balanced, your ego needs to be balanced and loved. You have to be able to balance your confidence, your self-assurance with some humble love. That's what this is about. Healing is about humility, acceptance, responsibility, integrity. Ace of Coins. People are seeing you as somebody who has been able to stand in their power in spite of all of the things that have occurred. People are seeing you as a stable space. And what is on the horizon might feel like you've been left out. There might be something about your self-worth that's going to come up for you that is going to confront you about the real truth and who you are. There might be some fear about facing the truth and hope that the truth will set you free. What's going to happen is a tower moment. You're going to see some things about yourself. You're going to be really affected by that. It's going to have an impact on your self-worth, and there's going to be some things that you're going to be confronted about in terms of the truth of who you have been being. And that is going to put you into a space that's going to completely rock your world. And as a result of that, you now get to decide who you want to be going forward. What reality do you want to create for yourself? What relationships do you want to have? Moon, This full moon energy is the time to really confront what is it that you're manifesting. What kind of relationships do you want to have? What kind of reality do you want to live in? What kind of nurturing, stable connection do you want to be in? What kind of passion, flamboyancy, like who are you creating yourself to be? Because now, when you start to see things about yourself, the call is here. Judgment. The day has arrived when everything you've thought about yourself has been rocked. Your world has been rocked. And your commitment to yourself and what you're creating will have the opportunity, I can't get these cards, to move forward. Judgment, Hierophant, Two of Wands, Chariot, World. Moving towards the ending and the beginning. Literally moving. Chariot, World. You are moving forward. You are moving on from this. You are being confronted with a completely new reality. A completely new opportunity to reinvent who you are so that you can heal unhealed wounds that you haven't really been able to see. Unhealed wounds that have been passed down through generations from your parents, from their parents, from your ancestral lineage that need healing in order for the world to heal. So, I hope this reading was resonating with you. This is pretty powerful stuff. And it is no easy feat. As we finish out the year 2020, things are going to get wild. From here until the end of this year, the energy in this space is wild. We have a full moon. The second full moon of October is on Saturday. We have planets in retrograde. We have a new moon in Scorpio in the middle of Scorpio month. We have planets going direct. And then we have this Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter shift from Capricorn into Aquarius in December. We have the winter solstice. We have energy that is going to, there's a download of codes coming in, folks. The world as we know it, for ourselves, for our own identities, is changing. So get ready. Hang in there. Keep all your feet and hands in the vehicle at all time, because this is going to be like, it's gonna be enormous. It's gonna be magical and fun and life-changing and powerful and eye-opening, and it might feel very uncomfortable. And as long as you're standing in your true, authentic power with balance and confidence that is loving and not tyrannical, not dysfunctional, clear, honest, worthy, stable, loving, conservative. Be a little conservative with your energy right now. Be conservative with how you're spending your time, how you're spending your resources, and really dial it back a couple notches so that you can really stand in this space of calm, created balance for yourself. All right, you guys. If you like the content that I am creating, give me a thumbs up. If there are readings that you would like to know more about, feel free to leave me a comment below. Anyways, I will see you again in the next reading. I hope your day is great. Ciao for now.